John Hale with Courier Journal is the first one up. So, John, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Jacob, when you first announced you were transferring, the assumption was you were going to redshirt and use that year to develop your body. I guess just maybe to start, when did you decide you were going to pursue the waiver, and kind of what was the motivation for that?
Well, I was taking it day by day, and we all seen that like practice was hard, and we were all getting better every day, and coach seen that too. And me and coach talked with each other. I talked with my family, and with COVID going on right now, we decided that we should take that chance to try to get a waiver, and we got that waiver. And I'm just glad that I was able to become eligible.
So what are your expectations for this year? I mean, obviously there's a bunch of depth, a bunch of guys to compete with for minutes.
Again, I'm going to take it day by day. We're getting better. We're competing every day. And we're just going to believe in Coach Cal because he knows what he's doing. And we're just going to take it day by day. And hopefully we all get to play.
All right, next up, we'll go with Kyle Tucker with The Athletic. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, John sort of asked my question, but I guess as a follow-up to that, I talked to you in this, I think whenever it was, the spring, and you were talking about the value of and the value for Obi too, and to having a year to develop your body, get stronger. You obviously can't work out the same way when you're in season as you would if you were focusing solely on I'm sitting out and working out this year. So how do you balance that? How do you try to get a little bit of both this year to get bigger and stronger and also be ready to contribute right away?
I've been talking with our strength coach, Coach Rob, and we're going to come up with a plan where like I could still lift and gain that weight and gain that muscle that I would in the off season without playing while playing. So we're definitely going to figure something out because obviously it shows that like I need to gain weight and muscle. So we'll figure something out.
All right, we'll move to Jerry Tipton with Lexington Herald Leader. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, hi, Jacob. I'm wondering, I would think most people think of you and then think of your brother, Obi. How would you compare your games, and how often do you hear that your brother brought up?
My brother is brought up all the time. I'm always hearing his name when I'm talking to somebody. The similarities in our game, we're very athletic and long, so we use that to our advantage. We're very energetic. We just like to we're all over the place. We're hustle players. We could shoot, we could drive, we could score like any way we can. He's just a lot bigger than me, and that's what I'm trying to get to. So that's really like the only like difference we have. He plays more inside than me, but I could play inside too. So yeah.
And you, if I read it right, you played against him this past season, right?
Yes,
what was that experience like?
It was actually like, it was very fun playing against my brother because not a lot of people could do that at the D1 level. So we were definitely still competing against each other, but it was definitely a fun memory that I won't forget.
Right, Larry Vaughn, I'm going to go to you next, and then Aiden Alperstein, I'll come to you after that.
Jacob, we hear so many stories about your leaping ability. Just how high can you jump, and are the stories exaggerated or not?
The stories are not exaggerated. I surprise myself sometimes when I jump because I'm jumping like higher than I usually jump. I'm looking inside the rim every time I jump. I don't know how to explain it. Everybody in my family could jump. My dad could still dunk, and he's 40 years old. So yeah, it's just in our genes. It's genetics.
So who would be the best dunker in your family?
I would say me. My brother like dunks the ball like a lot harder, but like I have a lot more like tricks up my sleeve. I could do a lot more things. So yeah, it's probably me.
All right, we'll go to Aiden Alperstein next. Go ahead, Aiden. Oops, hold on a sec. There you go. I'm trying to unmute you. There you go.
Does it work?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, all good. So coming from Rhode Island, you were one of the better players on your team, and now transferring to Kentucky, you'll be banging around with the likes of Keon and Isaiah down low. Although minutes might not be as high, do you find that playing with them in practice will help speed up your developmental process rather than staying at Rhode Island?
I have no hate towards Rhode Island. I love my teammates. I love the coaching staff and everything. I just felt like I had to move on from the program. Being at Kentucky, I'm definitely playing against a group of guys that are very talented, and playing against them is definitely getting me better. And them playing against me is getting them better. So like we're all helping each other in many different ways.
All right, next up we'll go with Alder Almo. Go ahead.
Hi, Jacob.
There you
Thanks
go.
for doing this. Yeah. Speaking of your brother, Obi, can you describe your relationship with him and how is he preparing for the drop and what kind of inspiration he's giving you? Are you looking up to him as your model?
Me and my brother, we have probably the strongest relationship out of everyone. Like nobody's gonna break our bond. Like our bond is just so tight. And I was actually on the phone with him earlier today talking about like how I have an interview, and he was actually like asking me questions and stuff. So like we're always there helping each other out and stuff. We talk every day. We're always checking up. And he's always telling me, like giving me inspiration quotes and all these things, telling me how like I could better myself as a human being and as a player. So we definitely love each other to the most, and we're always helping each other every day.
All right, well, next we'll go back to Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, Jacob, I have to ask you, what questions did Obi, bounce off you to get you ready?
Well, all the questions you guys asked, he's kind of asked that question because I don't know how he knew like you guys were going to ask these questions, but he was just going with the flow. And I was just answering them. And it was actually pretty funny because like these are the questions you guys are really asking, and he was asking me the same questions.
Well, maybe he didn't ask you this, but you played against LSU and Alabama last year, right?
Yes.
What was that like, and how much, might that help you? You're kind of been in the pool, so to speak.
I definitely got a taste of the waters. Playing against them was a lot different than playing against some A-10 schools because they're a lot bigger, they're a lot tougher and stronger, and they play a lot faster. So, I mean, that's kind of my speed. I like playing fast, and I like toughness because I'm a gritty player. Like I like banging with people. So it was definitely a fun moment for me, and I'm definitely going to be prepared when we play them again.
All right, Larry, I'm coming back to you, and then John Hale, circle back around to you.
I'm just wondering who's there's maybe a player or two in practice that has really impressed you or really challenged you and is pushing you more than anybody else.
Again, everybody, we all like have good days, but someone who like mostly impresses me would probably be Isaiah. He's very long and he's everywhere. He's active. He's getting blocks. He's getting blocks all the time. He's rebounding the ball very well. He's definitely going to be a big factor for us. I like his game because he could play inside out and outside in. He's very long and athletic. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing with him and all my other teammates.
All right, John, coming to you.
Jacob, if you do play some this year, what can you bring to this team right away? What are you good at now?
I could bring a lot to the table. I'm athletic. I could space the floor if I'm playing at the 4. I could play multiple positions. I'm a great defender, I believe, because with my length and my speed, I can move and play in front of anybody. And I'm smart. I could think the game very well. So when I'm on the court, I can help my other teammates that need help. So I bring a good amount to the team.
All right, Kyle Tucker, coming back to you.
I'm impressed with Obi's sports writing skills. Since he prepped you for all the things we've asked, what's a great question Obi asked you that we haven't asked you, and how'd you answer it?
He asked me. I mean, you guys asked all the questions he's asked. He didn't really ask me a question that nobody asked. So I don't know how to answer that question.
All right. Well, tell me something with all these comparisons. Are you like Obi? What can you do like Obi? What's something you can do that he can't? And what's a thing about his game that you'd like to add to yours?
I definitely think the game more. My IQ is very high. I could play more of the 2-3, and I don't think he can. I definitely like something I would take from him is his post moves. His post moves are very good, and he just knows how to read post play. He could pass out of the post, and he could just play the post very well. So I think if I got better at that, I would be a great player.
All right, Jerry, I'm going to come back to you, and then Aiden, I'll hit you next.
Jacob, you said your dad can dunk and he's 40. What kind of a player did he play? Was he a player?
Well, when I was younger, me and my brother used to go watch him play all the time. He used to play in like all the city tournaments. He played with the Court Kings with Hot Sauce in them. He played overseas, and he was like us as a player. He was very athletic. And I remember one time when I was at prep school, he came and visited me, and he was like, "Let's have a dunk contest." And I was like, "What?" And he did a couple dunks that I couldn't do in prep school. So I was like, wow, that's crazy.
And I'm wondering also, maybe a little more seriously about COVID, the adjustments you've had to make. What's that been like? Changing your lifestyle, I would think.
Well, for me, I'm kind of an introvert. I don't like going out and being around a lot of people. So it didn't really affect me as much because I always like being inside. And if I'm not inside, I'm in the gym. So it didn't affect me that much.
All right, Aiden, going to you, and then John Hale, you'll be next.
Besides the basketball program at Kentucky, was there anything in terms of you when you decided to transfer? Was there anything about the school itself that also was intriguing to persuade your decision?
Well, I lived in a city most of my life. I lived close to the city too once I moved out of the city. So I was around a lot of people, a lot of noise and all that. So being in a space where like I could just focus on myself and focus on basketball, where like there's not a lot of disturbance, definitely like played a factor. So yeah.
And one last thing, I met Obi at the beach this summer in New Jersey. We ended up playing spike ball together. Where were you?
I don't know, to be honest. I was probably in the gym.
I missed you.
All right, John Hale, we'll go to you next.
Jacob, a lot of time Cal seems to want his big guys to learn to be weapons in the post before he stretches them out on the floor a little bit. How much is he kind of pounding that into you right now to develop those post moves you were talking about that your brother can do as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've been working with the bigs every day, getting better with my post moves, working on playing inside out more than outside in. So it definitely is helping my game. I've seen it in like the scrimmages that we've been working on. Like I'm not as afraid to play in the post now because I'm working on it and I'm getting better at it. So my confidence level of playing inside is definitely going up.
Okay, Alder, I'm coming back to you.
Thank you. Jacob, just not getting ahead, but it's inevitable that you're gonna join your brother to win the NBA. How it's gonna be like to have two Toppins in the NBA?
That would definitely be a dream come true. We've dreamed about that our whole lives. We have always wanted to play in the NBA, and to see my brother play, have the opportunity to be able to play in the NBA is just, I love that. I love to see him like happy. I love to see him achieve his goals, and I'm just working on that myself. I'm taking it day by day, like I said before, and hopefully one day I'll be able to play in the NBA beside my brother.
Do you have any preference growing up, or do you have a favorite team, you and your brother?
Well, we're from New York, so I like the Knicks, but I've really been looking at Milwaukee because I'm a Giannis fan. I'm also a LeBron fan, so wherever he goes, I'm rooting for them. So, yeah.
All All right, Gary Graves, the Associated Press, you got next, and then Jerry, I'll come back to you again.
Yeah. Jacob, you were talking about, working on your post moves and strength and all that, but what kind of difference in fundamentals have you learned from Cal being here? And, maybe things like in terms of how you rebound, because he always talks about rebounding, with two hands. Has that kind of changed for you?
He's definitely on us about two hands. So everything, I was used to doing a lot of things with one hand. So he's definitely emphasized the two hands on everything: passes, catching, rebounding. And you could see like the numbers going up, like on my rebounds, turnovers, on everybody's rebounds, turnovers going down, because we're just catching it with two hands. We're not being sloppy, and also getting the ball by the person instead of playing with the ball. So he's always talking about how we got to pick up the tennis ball, put it down. Like, we don't do that anymore. This is in high school. So he always like emphasizes us getting the ball by the man and just getting it to the basket.
As a follow-up, I mean, are there any habits that you've had to unlearn being here?
Any habits I had to unlearn? I don't think so. Probably just one-handed. I did a lot of things one-handed, and you could see that my numbers have gone up and down by using two hands. So yeah.
All right, Jerry, to you.
There we go. What was last season like for you, Jacob? What, in a learning experience or any other way?
It was definitely a big learning experience because I was a freshman. I didn't weigh a lot, so I had to get stronger. I had to be more physical. I had to think the game faster because I was playing right away and I was contributing right away. So it was a big learning experience for me. It just shows how the game is changing, how fast paced it is, and all that stuff.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're out of questions at the moment. If you got any more, go ahead and submit them. Give you guys here a few seconds, see if we've got anything else. Going once, going twice. Oh, we got one for Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
I just wanted to clarify. I think Larry asked you earlier how high you can jump. Have they measured your vertical since you got there?
No, I'm still waiting for that because I want to see how high I actually jump. Like, I want to see my vertical because I can jump very high.
What's your last recorded?
I think it was a 39.
Looks like Alder, you got another question?
Just the last one and a follow-up on your brother. Did you in any way help him during the pre-drop process, or just training with him this summer, or the whole time that during the COVID shutdown?
Yeah, so in the summer, before I came to Kentucky, I was in Jersey working out with my brother and Lance, where he was there with us. And we were always going at it every time we worked out. We had two-a-days where we would just go at each other. And it gets to a point, like when we're on the court, like, we're not brothers, we're competitors. So we were definitely going at it. We would fight all the time because we wanted to see each other get better. So we were definitely competing and helping each other every day.
Yeah, just only you, or do you have other companions at in practice?
Yeah, there was multiple people there. We used to scrimmage and have runs, open runs, where we would just try to get that in-game situation going. So yeah.
All right, looks like we got a question from Grant Grubbs with the Kentucky Colonel.
Hey there, Jacob. So obviously COVID has messed up a lot. And I was kind of wondering, do you still feel like you've been able to properly bond and socialize with your teammates to get comfortable?
100%. We're in like our own little bubble right now. We don't want to mess that up because we want to play this year, and we don't want COVID affecting our season. And coach always emphasized how like we need to be the best at this COVID situation. And I believe that we are being the best at this situation. We're in our bubble, so we're hanging around in the lodge together. We're talking to each other every day. So I don't believe this COVID situation is affecting our bond situation at all. I think it's helping it because we're around each other and just each other. So that's definitely big.
Thank you.
Larry, coming back to you.
Yeah, since you mentioned Lance Ware and working out with him some this summer, tell us a little bit about his game and what you think Kentucky fans can expect from him this year.
He's definitely a tough guy. He loves to compete. He's strong. He bangs in the post, and he's gritty. So he's definitely going to be a big factor for our team because he brings the energy that not most people bring, and he's definitely going to help this team a lot.